Osula here. So a lot of you had some concerns about the henna as to why I'm using it, who should use it, what does it do for your hair, different questions like that. So I'm going to attempt to answer those questions in this video. So I decided to start using henna because I was struggling to grow my hair past my clavicle bone. This is the longest my hair's ever been, but it always seems to stay this length. So once I started to learn more about henna, I said, okay, let me go ahead and give this a try. Now, I had already heard of all the horror stories of people's hair becoming very dry, brittle, falling out, things like that. But I said, you know what, I'm going to try it and see what happens, okay? So there are so many different recipes here on YouTube. There were a couple of things that I knew that I did not want to do. I did not want my hair to be this bright red color, so I searched recipes that for people that were not trying to necessarily dye their hair. And what I learned was, if you're going to use henna and you don't want to dye your hair, you need to use a penetrating oil. Okay, so a penetrating oil is now going to prevent all of the loss in dye from entering into your strands. Now, obviously, some of the loss in dye is going to enter into it, but it's not going to be as extreme. That's why you see in my other videos, my hair is still, dark brown or jet black, as it's always been. I've always had dark colored hair, and I think people that have a darker colored hair, the loss in dye is not going to show up as much, but it will show if you step into sunlight. Now, getting back to using a penetrating oil, one of the YouTubers mentioned that when she used either coconut oil or olive oil, she would cover all of her hair in that the night before, let it soak in, and then she would do the henna treatment, just like I showed you in my video. That helps to prevent your hair from turning that bright orange color. Now, if you have gray hair, that's going to be a different situation, because now it's going to be going from a light color to a darker color using henna, as opposed to a dark color getting lighter with henna. It's not going to have as a severe effect. So those of you that have gray hair, I went ahead and looked up a few things. They said to use henna with indigo. Now, because I don't have gray hair, I don't know how well that's going to work. Some of the other YouTubers that I've seen, they had some pretty good results. Of course, I will link those videos down for you to check it out and see if that's something that you want to do. As long as I don't have gray hair, I'm going to continue to use henna. And I'm keeping in the back of my mind that if I use henna when I have gray hair, my hair is going to be a bright reddish brown color. And it's either I am going to accept that or I'm not. So be careful if you're choosing to use henna. In one of my other videos, I mentioned that my hair is much stronger. And the reason why that's happening is because the henna coats your strands and it stays on your strands. So, and that's why people recommend leaving it on for several hours. And the longer you leave it on, the better your results. So I happen to have left mine on for 4 hours and then I washed it out. Now, I use my regular wash routine with my shampoo, conditioner, and then I did a deep treatment for 30 minutes to prevent drying. Your hair is going to feel extremely strong. If you decided to use milk, you'll notice that your hair is strong, but it's not dry as to some of the other things that people use. Some of the things that I'm personally choosing to stay away from is green tea, any mixture that is hot. When you pour something hot into your henna, the loss in dye is released like 100 times over. I'm exaggerating, but it's really going to be a bright red color. Some people decided to use lemon juice. Some people decided to use a whole bunch of other things that I'm not comfortable using. I, of course, respect everybody's decision for what they want to do for their hair. However, I'm not looking for a bright orange color. It may look great on them, but I'm not too convinced that it's going to look good on me. So one of the precautions that you want to have is always mix your henna with something cold. Yes, you will have lumps. However, the loss in dye is not going to be, your henna is not going to be super bright. If you're going for the bright look, by all means, use your hot teas, use your hot water, use your lemon juice, whatever other concoctions people are coming up with, you can definitely do that. But just realize you're going to have a carrot looking hair, color. And I'm not throwing shade at anybody that has that. I'm just trying to put it out there for people to really understand that that's what's going to happen. I would encourage everyone to please look on YouTube and to see people's results. You don't want to go into something blindly because someone said it's great. So as you can see, my hair is still dark. Of course I have black hair in, but you would be able to see orange through my braids, okay? So my hair is still very dark. So I want to give you 5 things that you need to consider doing before you do a henna treatment. 1, your hair needs to be clean. Henna needs to bind to clean hair in order to have the best results. I've seen quite a few videos where people just started applying henna to dirty hair, and you're not going to have great results like that. 2, you need to allow, after you mix your henna, you need to allow it to sit so it can release the loss and dye, so that you have better results as far as your hair becoming stronger and the loss and dye penetrating your strands. 3, again, if you're not looking for a bright color, use a cold mixture. If you're not choosing to do milk and you want to do water or whatever else you want to do, use it cold. Because when you're letting it sit for the 6 hours, it's going to release that dye anyway. Again, the hot water is an accelerated route to releasing the loss and dye, but it's going to have extreme results on your hair. Number 4, allow for the henna to sit on your hair for quite some time. I'm quite extreme. I happen to do it for 4 hours, but I know people who have decent results only doing it for an hour or an hour or 2. But just give it time for the henna to, sit on your hair and to really bind to those strands, and then you can wash it out. Number 5, when you're washing your henna out, you allow for the water to rinse the henna out first. You don't just go in with shampoo and start washing your hair. Allow for the water to thoroughly rinse all the henna out, and then you can go ahead and add your shampoo. What I like to do is I add shampoo to a bottle, an 8-ounce bottle, maybe 1 pump, an 8-ounce bottle. I shake it up and I shampoo my hair in those sections. So I had 5 sections on the video. I took my time and I did each section, and I washed my hair that way. I followed it with a conditioner. I washed that out, toweled my hair dry, and then I went in with a deep conditioner. I let that sit for about 30 to 45 minutes. Once that was done, I washed my hair. I did my ACV rinse, and I also did my aloe vera gel rinse. So I toweled my hair dry. I went ahead and used my leave-in conditioner. Do your normal blow dry routine if you blow dry your hair, and you can go about your business. I used shea butter on my hair because I knew I was going to be getting these braids done, and that's just to prevent friction and whatever possible breakage that would happen from the braiding process. So that was it. I hope this video is helpful. I'll talk to you guys soon. I encourage you to just simply Google any information that you really want to know about henna. The other types of henna have salts in them, and you want to be careful with using that. I would encourage all of you again to please do your research, look it up. If you are someone that dyes your hair, stay away from henna. Henna, especially if you're not using a body grade henna, when you mix it with your dyes, it's going to have devastating effects on your hair because the salts don't interact well with I forget what's inside of the dyes, but you can research that for yourself and read about how it's going to have really devastating effects on your hair. So please be careful. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and share the video. It really does help me out. I'm working on building up my subscribers. Thank you so much for those of you that have been in it with me from the beginning. You guys are awesome. I enjoy having conversations with you. Even though we may not agree on everything, I just love that we can be so respectful on this channel, and it's just awesome. All right, and as always, I foresee beauty.